Okay, hello, hello. Welcome to welcome to Abracadabra. Create what you speak. I'm iLan Azoulai. I'm a spiritual mentor and a sound therapist for you who are ready to remember your gifts, to shift your mindset, and to manifest the life that you want. This is Gina Ann. Hello,
Hello.
Gina, an inner child specialist and intuitive counselor. And this program, Abracadabra, is an empowerment program where we bring people from all walks of life, all professions, anybody who is in their gifts and ready to shine their gifts to the world. And this is great. How you
Yeah,
doing, Gina?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, well, I see you better now with
I
the
know.
glasses.
Without or with. Oh wait, who are you? I'm excited for today's show. I'm really excited. I can't wait to introduce
Yes. We have
our
we have a
guest.
wonderful guest. And it's all about relationships, When we're
Perfect.
talking about relationships, everything is about relationships. We're talking about abracadabra, about manifesting. It's the relationship that we have with ourselves. What kind of a relationship we have with ourselves, and what kind of a relationship do we have with that which we want to manifest, right? Whether it is a relationship with somebody else, with a man or a woman.
Man, if fest.
Man, if nah, not man, I fest.
That's right.
You
Or
fest on the
feast.
man. Uh, so it is a great program today. My guest is somebody who I've met at a workshop, and we had our podcast on her show, the Men's Advocate Show, and we were talking about the issues that I'm going to talk about now. So my guest is Linda Gross. She's a podcaster, a life coach, a best-selling author. What she did, she interviewed over 20,000 men to help women to be irresistible to men. This is great. We're going to dive into it to see what are the preconceived notions that people have
I'm
about.
taking notes.
Oh
I'm
no, I know you're taking notes. I know you're taking notes. She discusses men's issues, and she's really advocate for men. Like many of you know that most of my clients are women, and we talked in her podcast about that. And she's advocate for men, and this is really great because we'll deal with this. We'll talk about this.
Men, women, and children.
Children. So she discusses men's issues like dating, relationships, sex, women, marriage, divorce, fitness, health, business, male hobbies, and men's rights. That's important. Men's rights, because we're kind of losing track here a little bit in what's happening today. Linda has a degree in psychology from UCLA and author of several books. She's been life coaching for over 15 years, and she has a podcast for over 7 years advocating for those who have unfair custody arrangements. That's something that we talked also about in her podcast, The Men's Advocate. So, without further ado, I want to invite Linda. Hello. Where is she? There she is.
There.
Now, if you can unmute, please. There you go.
Yeah, there. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really look forward to today.
Absolutely. Well, you are in it already, so you don't need to look forward to it.
Let
Look
me
to be
just
in.
dive in.
No, this is great. So thank you very much for joining and for coming and for sharing what you're sharing. It's very important. And please recap yourself. I mean, I don't know if you can do that, but present yourself again, because I think you'll do a better job than I did, probably.
Thank you. No, you did great. Well, I have two different branches. I have one branch of coaching that's specifically for women, dating and relationships, and another branch that's specifically for men. So I think most people out there that have a podcast or book or whatever, they make it unisex, and they've been brainwashed for the last several decades that the sexes are the same. The sexes are
Mm,
the same. They
mm,
operate the same. In my view, based on my research, academic research, and also, you know, quote unquote man on the street research of these 20,000 men that I interviewed, I found that that's not the case at all. We might both start at point A and we might both want to get to point Z, but how we get how we go through the middle is decidedly different. So that's why I separate the two branches, because I think each sex deserves their own answer of what works and what doesn't work. For a
Mm.
man to have someone be irresistible is attractive to the man, but that's not a quality that women care about. So I speak to each gender individually and give them the best advice that I can.
So basically, what you're saying, based on your experience, what men find attractive, women don't.
Right.
Is that
They
that?
may, yes, that is
Yeah.
right. So they may overlap, their top 20 factors may overlap, but both of my books focus on what are the top four core drives. So those core drives are
Mm.
the animal drives of what drives us instinctually, hormonally, with our synapses, all of our biological functions, what drives us. So women's top four is different than men's top four. So once you are the other sex and you understand what those four elements are, oh my gosh, it's like you have the key to the safe, right? You have the key to the door that unlocks all the secrets.
So
It,
what are
it
the
just
what
it's
are
just
these
so
for?
easy.
What are these for?
Well,
Core.
for a
Let's talk about them.
man who is pursuing a woman, those top four are confidence, number one. Got to have that confidence. Women need confidence like they need air. So, again, why is that? It's biological because, in general, men are bigger, badder, stronger, faster than women. And we are looking to the man to help protect the women and children and get us out of danger. So, if there's a weather event like a hurricane or a flood or avalanche or something like that, we're looking to you to help get us out of danger. So the confidence thing is very important. And then, of course, we don't have those things too often today. So I'm in my book, I modernize what you can do as a man to build your confidence. A lot of my men don't have any confidence at all. And a lot of my peers, other authors that write about dating and relationship, they say, oh, practice with a woman. And I say, no, don't practice with a woman. You need to have the confidence gene before you even get there.
Maybe you should
So
practice. Maybe you should practice with a woman that you don't want to date.
yes, I do
Then
advise
and then
that.
you transfer that
I
over to.
I do advise that. That's one of the chapters. Thanks for mentioning that. So anyway, I show the men and I give them homework on how to practice building your confidence ahead of getting the woman. That way, when the right woman comes along, you're not all nervous and tongue-tied and can't get the job done, right? You're practiced. So, a couple of ways that a guy can practice is through his work, through his passions, through his hobbies. It could be sports, it could be playing the guitar, it could be he's like the best golfer there is. So practice in other areas until you are an expert in that area, like 1 hour a day or a couple hours a week, until you feel that confidence in your gut. And that way, when you're around a woman, you're already solid. You're not fumbling
Yeah,
around.
but that I don't know, but that feels like it's like boxing everything into. You're talking about confidence. Confidence, the reason men may not have confidence around women has nothing to do with the women, obviously, has to
Yeah.
do with his internal development.
That's what
Uh,
I'm saying. I
yes,
mean,
so
maybe
it's
they're
not.
lazy. Maybe they're sitting on the couch watching video games all day long. How are you going to get confidence like that? You're not.
Yeah.
Whether it's relating to a job or interpersonal skills or getting the woman, you're not going to get confidence being passive and lazy. I mean, it
So
only makes sense, right?
Mhm.
do you feel that applies to a female as well? Because I think a female that has confidence going in a relationship,
No,
it relates
no.
to her. It doesn't.
I mean, like I said at the top of the hour, the four core drives for women are different than men. They may overlap. The top 20 may overlap,
Mhm.
but the top four, actually, when I interviewed the men, they're like, I could give a rat's tail what her position is or how many degrees she has. It's not important. So the woman might have a lot of confidence, but is it in his top 4? No.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think I was talking about emotional confidence.
yeah,
Okay, so you're
that's
talking about physical
yeah.
confidence and okay.
You don't hear guys usually. I didn't hear a guy sit in the bar and goes, "Man, listen, I met this woman. She has 2 PhDs.
Yeah, she has a set of
she has
PhDs.
PhDs. She has this." You're like, no,
But you
I
want
hear you. I hear you.
intelligence, it depends what your motive is.
But
Do you
but
want to have sex with her or you want a relationship?
well, that's
It's a
true.
mindset.
That's true because if I want a relationship, then I want to hear what's going on with her. In one of the chapters you wrote, uh, don't what was it? Don't tell me what your problems are, because I
A
care.
boyfriend.
Because if she's telling me something and said, look, I don't want to go there about your ex-boyfriend. I don't want to go there because I care about you, so I don't want to
Mhm.
go there.
Mhm.
I don't know. I find it,
And
for me it doesn't. I'm 51% feminine. I like to see that. So when I talk to when I was like all the time going to those places, with psychoanalysis places, to understand to understand what makes up what she's made out of, and
mhm.
if there are wounds, if there are what the qualities are, and stuff like that. So when I read that sentence, I was like,
Conflicted or
yeah, maybe it was a certain kind of a man. Obviously not everybody is the same, and you're talking in general, but that was something that kind of pulled my eye
what are your
because
thoughts on that? Can you expand upon it? Because I was curious about that as well.
Because oftentimes when the woman is talking about my horrible ex,
Mm.
boyfriend or husband or whoever it is, she feels too much comfort to bring it up again and again and again on future talks, on
That's what I
future
thought,
visits.
repetitive.
And
repetitive.
then you get put into the man gets put into the friend zone. She
Mhm.
doesn't see you as a sexual being. She sees you as, her therapist, basically. She sees you as a safe outlet, like, disclosing this information to her hairdresser or whatever.
Mhm.
So you don't want to be put in that category. I'm not saying don't talk about that subject ever. I mean, after you've already established yourself, after maybe 90 days or what have you, go ahead and talk about those subjects. But initially, the main thing that you want to convey as a man is that you have confidence. So this isn't helping that need. So why go there?
But I,
Save it
I, I
for
tell you,
later.
no, I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you. The question is, if I want a relationship, I actually want to know, because we can't always stay static in one place. We
Yeah.
go up and down. We're pulls and push. So one time, maybe I was going through a nervous breakdown or something. How is she going to handle that if I don't know that she's now? I guess in the beginning, maybe I don't push it on her,
Yeah.
but but these things happen. How do I know if I'm trying to, oh yeah, I'm confident, how do I know that she really likes me? Because eventually, also I will break. Everybody
Oh, has your
breaks
back, you mean?
or has my back. For me, this is the most important thing, is somebody that has my back. If I'm all playing a game and I'm saying, oh, I'm confident, look at me, you know
Mhm.
eventually it's not real, it's not authentic. So I don't know, but that's me, maybe. That's me, weird.
No, it's not weird, and it's a good ask. I just wouldn't be too vocal about it in the beginning stages. The
Yeah, in the
first
beginning.
couple of dates, I
Oh,
mean, not that you don't have that soft side, of course you do. I'm not saying never talk about it. I'm just saying there are other key elements that are important, because otherwise you're not even going to get a second date
That's
or a
right,
well,
that's
third
the
right.
date.
validity to your
So
yeah.
So
so
we're
so
really we're really
you want to get past that threshold
Yeah,
to where you can let your hair down and can see if she's got that sensitive emotional side that you're
yeah, yeah.
craving, that you're looking for.
Well, it also could produce, a red flag when you're bringing up your boy. It could show that you're still not over that situation. So,
Right.
completely agree with that
It could
What
work
about
perspective.
the other side?
it could work against you. Yeah.
What about the other side?
The other side meaning,
That if the man talks about, so like you compare notes, so to
yeah,
speak,
right.
right?
Yeah.
But I get that you're talking really more about the beginning.
Hmm.
You're talking really about
Yeah,
the
of
beginning
course.
stage, and I think I'm bringing things that are way once you establish a connection or once you establish a
Way in the
relationship,
future,
way in the
have a
future.
nice day.
Yeah.
It's fair
You
game to,
don't, yeah,
open up any subject you want. In fact, you want to spend the rest of the year, you know, putting her in different situations
yeah,
and putting her with the family, putting her with work colleagues or whatever,
yeah,
explore all of that. I'm
yeah,
not saying never. I'm just saying you want to get past the first date or two.
Right.
So
yeah.
the first
And you make
date
it
or
about you
two,
too.
yeah, you want to hit the button that's going to open the door to the next door, right?
So yeah, that's right. That's right. So Linda, so tell me about how did you choose, or why did you choose to advocate for men? I remember when we started speaking at Jen's and Chris class during that time. I was really fascinated by that because I hardly see any women that are men's advocate. We were talking about that. Many of the people that I work with are women that have broken wings that went out of bad situations, and we're talking
Mm.
about your advocating for men, and it kind of ties one into the other. But I want to know how did you decide that, you know what, this is my calling specifically for men? What is your relationship with men? I mean, I know you're
My
married, but what's
my
your relationship?
relationship with men is I have a really deep sense of morals and values. So when I see that someone is treated unfairly, doesn't matter what sex they are, what age they are, whatever it is, I just want to like come to the rescue because I hate that sense
I
of
hear you.
making people wrong. If the person is wrong and they need to go to jail, okay, then go to jail. If
Go
they
to
if they're
jail.
gonna,
No free card. Go to jail.
you know, but if the person was wrongly accused and unfairly treated, and if they couldn't get their issue resolved, I'm Linda to the rescue. That's my mission in life because
Well,
I
where
have a
were you
strong.
11 years ago when
I
I was
know.
financially raped?
Oh gosh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, that's
No, it's okay. You
her
know what?
story.
It
Yeah.
no,
So
but
what?
that's why I'm so fascinated in meeting you and picking your brain and because I think I'm an intuitive spiritual counselor, so I get
Yeah.
a lot of men and women, and I counsel couples as well. My question I want to ask you, because your books are timeless, which is lovely.
Yeah,
And
Thank you.
it's very so. My question for you is, we're in this new paradigm and we've gone a couple of shifts. We have dating sites now, which is a plethora, kind of a buffet, right? So
Yeah.
the dating world has really shifted, and then we're out of COVID, right? So we've been in an isolation. Now we're integrating back into a new social paradigm. What is your philosophy? What is your feelings? I mean, your book still applies in your tools,
Hmm.
but now that we're in this dating, like I said, of this plethora of a buffet of women and men where we could go doot doot doot. What are your thoughts on that? Does just your thoughts on that new
new
shift,
paradigm. This new, yeah,
especially after COVID too? Because like I
yeah.
said, now it's not only are you STD safe, are you COVID safe?
We've had
Right.
to break so many former paradigms, and what
There we
worked,
go.
3 years ago doesn't work now,
Exactly.
with
Exactly.
regard to COVID. Like, back then I'm a hugger. So I would, handshake or I would hug or,
Mhm.
or have some sort of physical contact with the person. Now, not so much.
Right.
Are they coughing? Are they sneezing? Do they have a communicable disease? Do they have COVID? Do they
That's
have,
what I'm saying.
Do you have
Every
a,
Omicron?
time
It's like,
STD
oh my
safe and COVID
goodness.
safe.
do you have a
So
communication disease?
yeah,
Communication disease.
and I am a verbal communicator, but my nonverbal communication is very strong. I'm Mediterranean, and I like to hug.
Hey, I'm
I like to
Sicilian.
touch.
I get it. I'm Sicilian.
Right.
But even in the dating world, when my mom dated, it was like you meet at a gathering or at a bar. Now it's on a dating site. So, the rules, they want to take you out for coffee instead of a dinner. Like I feel, and I don't think it's sexist because I listen, I was raised with three brothers in a very
Yeah.
Italian family. I love men. I have a son. I have a daughter.
Hmm.
And I like the fact of being courted. I
Yeah.
really do. And I love the fact of like cooking for a male, but I think a male cooking for me too, it would be beautiful. So I want your
Yeah.
thoughts on this dating site. Does it open up to
It's
new rituals and new rules or new tools
yeah, of
from your
course. I
perspective
mean,
and experience?
of course, that you are opening yourself up to new tools. And unfortunately, I hate to be sexist, but
It's okay.
guess who is writing those dating apps? Men.
Males.
Men. Okay,
Male.
guess what men are interested in? Only the visual. That's
There
why
we
you
go.
have swipe left and swipe right based on your visual.
But you
Do
know,
do
but
women do women evaluate that that way? No. We women naturally before the swipe, right and left, naturally we would look at the person's site and we would read. Is there something about his profile that resonates with us? Oh, you have a dog? I have a dog. Oh, you live in this part of town? I live in this part of town. We would read the profile because the visual wasn't that important to women. So now they're forcing both sexes to have the visual be very important. So what happens? Women cheat now. They get, a photography app that alters what they look like or makes them look
filter,
There we
younger
filter,
go.
or
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
skinnier or whatever because they know that men are not going to swipe right unless she visually looks good. And then meanwhile, you go on the date and the guy's like, oh my God, it looks nothing like your picture.
Right.
So you
Well, the
get what
rules
you
have
get.
changed. The rules
That's
have
right.
changed. You on a dating site, usually like you swipe, then you text, and then I always tell mine if it doesn't lead to a phone call and to a date, then there,
It's not legit.
it's
Yeah.
It's
not
not going
legit.
anywhere. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, whereas before is hi, my name is Gina. Hi, my name is whoever. Oh, may I have your number? Oh,
Yeah.
may I call you? It's completely different now. And women are
Yes.
like, you know, it's very difficult, I think, for women and men
It's
to
Yeah.
connect because you're connecting electronically rather than in person.
the
And
thing.
they have so many choices. I mean,
That's what I
if
mean.
not you, they have 40 other choices.
They can have
So
steak
Yeah.
one day and chicken the next.
So the thing is that man usually everything is external. Everything is visual, external. Visual is external, and the women are internal. So basically, what is happening is kind of reculturing the women's way of thinking into a masculine way of operating,
right,
right?
right.
And coercing into that, and that's fascinating. So now you have a woman also that doesn't have uh, her masculine slash men issues healed and resolved,
Hmm.
okay, and she goes on these websites and and she already is coming with a predisposition of, oh, all men are like this, I'm probably not going to find anything, I'm
They just
probably not
want
going,
hookups.
they just
I'm
want,
like,
Yeah.
but
I don't want to
that's okay if they want hookups.
no, but there is no healing there. So there is
Hmm.
some kind of an unhealed communication. There is a, we talked about this last time about the Me Too movement, right?
Hmm.
Where many women, what I've experienced is that they don't have the healing on the masculine side, and now
Right,
right away they're jumping to, oh, feminists, we are for women and men need to listen to us, we are goddesses, this goddess complex,
right.
we're goddesses, you have to listen to us, we're this, we're that, and it's not that a woman, by definition of Kabbalistic definition of creation, has more bina, has more understanding, has more, she's more complete than the male as far as the creation. I know you want to say something. Hold on. So there is a more bina. For example, I'll give you an example. A guy goes, tells his woman, you know what, I'm doing this great deal with Udi or whatever, and it's a great deal, and yes, and we're going to start Monday. And then the wife says, yes, but what about this, and what about this, and what about this? Many times it's the woman who will have this understanding, these layers of understanding, which is the wisdom combined with the knowledge. There is an extra bina. It's not new. So now you have women that are not healed with the men, with their men issues,
Hmm.
and they're developing this anger. So all this understanding, all this way of, a woman is more able to compartmentalize or to be emotionally intellectual. Suddenly it becomes dumbed down into swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right, and add to that the fact that a woman is not healed, or she thinks that men are you know she will swipe left and right, and many times will fall into a pattern of picking the same person that caused a trauma for her, or
Yeah,
caused a pain for her,
yeah.
or treated her like crap, and and then on those sites are kind of encouraging that.
It's encouraging, like, negative, not natural
No, not natural. Yeah,
behavior.
absolutely,
It's not
absolutely.
natural. Then,
No.
when of all the women that I interviewed, the number one thing that they told me, this is speaking to your unhealed woman, maybe
Hmm.
from daddy issues or childhood issues or whatever it is, yes, a lot of women feel that men on those sites are just looking for sex. So they feel like, their being and their body is just going to be used.
So why are
So
they going there?
so so they are
They want
flipping
a
the
relationship.
script, and the number one answer I get from women is, I'm going out with this person. And I'm like, you don't even look like you're compatible with this person. Why are you going? Or maybe this person is, 30 years older than you, or like whatever, or lives in an hour away. Why are you going with this person? Number one answer is, he's going to buy me an expensive dinner. So the way they get even with you, just like the man only is down for sex, a lot of men, she is only down for, taking you over the coals for a $200 to $500 dinner. Now, is
So
she interested in you? No, that's her way of getting even with you. And why is all this
yeah.
negativity happening? I think it's from what you're saying, is they're not healed from whatever happened in childhood.
Here is a situation that happens a lot, and the reason I have some issues with the generalizing of how you should be, how you should not, because there's a lot of the old paradigm
Mm.
that comes into play here. How do you deal with this? For example, first date, or I hate the word date, man. I just like, I don't know. Well, first,
Encounter.
yeah,
Or
connect.
meeting.
All right,
Meeting.
first connecting, first meeting. Many women expect that the man pay for the dinner.
Mhm.
So that means that if she expects me to pay for dinner, I can expect her to have sex. I can tell her, okay, we're going to have sex, right?
Mhm.
Because this is kind of an old paradigm. Oh, you're supposed to provide for me, you're supposed to take care of me, but no, but we are equal. Oh
Right.
no, we have to have equal rights, we have to have equal opportunities. We are
Mhm.
strong, we take care of ourselves. But then no, but the man has to pay for my first dinner. I've met many colleagues and women and women that I've coached and worked with that had an open understanding about relationship, a
Mhm.
deep understanding about relationship, and yet they expect the man to pay for the food or for the deal or for whatever that is on the first date. It's like, where is this coming from? It's not a monetary issue. It's an issue of like, wait, you're telling me that you're looking for fairness. You are capable. You're working. You have a why don't you guys, if you like one another, invest as well? Why do
Yeah,
people
she's
split?
not looking for fairness, she's looking for entitlement.
Then
That
adios,
that
Santa Maria.
that
Bye bye.
that yes, I could pay for the $200 dinner, but I don't want to. So it's entitlement.
So it's
But
not
but I
really.
but I but I have a cure for that. I have,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
this is what I recommend in my book.
okay.
Absolutely make it the first meeting meet and greet. That's it. 1 hour or less. No fancy dinners. Do
Coffee.
not do not, extend this to, a 5 hour, I get these people, they say they went on this date for 5 hours. Don't do that, folks. It's a meet and greet. And the only purpose of it is to see if you click. If you don't click, because it's hard to tell from a picture, hard to tell from a profile if you're going to click. You need that 3D
Yeah, you need
experience
you
to
need
see.
energy exchange,
And you know what?
energy,
If you
feelings.
don't click, just be gracious
Yeah,
about it,
yeah,
be civil about it, say thank you very much. I had a really nice time, but I don't think it's going to work out. I don't have
yeah,
a
yeah.
click, whatever. And you know what? If you do click, then you get to look forward to the next date. So the next date can be a longer date. So, on date number one, you are already assessing and processing, is she just a gold digger? Is she just money grabbing? Is she just wanting to meet at the $200 restaurant just because she wants to take advantage of me, or whatever the story is? So the first date, no theater tickets, no concert tickets, no football games, nothing that's going to last 3 hours, 5 hours. No, because you will get taken advantage of, and you don't even get to enjoy the person for whom they are. So first date,
Meet
meet
and
and
greet.
greet.
I like the
See
meet
if
and
it's
greet.
even going to work.
It's greeting the meet and greet.
It's nice to greet you.
It's nice to greet the meet. Yeah, I know. I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, no, it's fascinating. I'll tell you several exchanges that I had in the past that is a little bit on the same topic, but on a different topic. Whoever is joining us now, first of all, this is Abracadabra. You know that because you're here. And my guest is Linda Gross, and she has a podcast called The Men's Advocate, and she's an advocate for men's rights. And she talks about relationship, about dating, and we're talking now about dating, although I hate this word, but most of the world is using it. So we're talking about dating now. And so here's a situation that I had, about what to talk about in the beginning and so forth. What I had a few times is that the woman would open up. Well, it wasn't a date kind of thing. It was just getting, meeting or some whether it was
Yeah,
an encounter.
getting to
Just
know you.
yeah, yeah. So it's the first time, and she feels very comfortable on sharing what's going on with her and everything was happening and da da da. And something happens in her that the next time she close off. So it is being vulnerable and then being scared that she was vulnerable,
Mm,
and then there are all kind of darts that are being thrown the second time, so she starts shutting up, like shutting off,
shutting down. Yeah.
shutting down, off, down, up, oh something, shutting down, shutting down. And so there is, it's like a pattern, and I noticed that this is a certain kind of, not certain kind of, but certain women that are in certain women in these wounded situations, in these wounded places of trust, of not sharing, of sharing and then retracting. And so if something like this happened, I don't know if you heard this kind of a scenario where a woman would open up and she would share intimate things or what happened in her childhood, whatever that is, and then like it's not just it's shut down, but sometimes there is also aggression,
Oh,
aggression in accusing all kind of things, finding things that supposedly don't have anything to do with this issue, but there is this kind of shutting down and aggression. Did you experience this kind of thing? Did you have?
yeah. The first part of what you're asking, the shutting down, in psychology, we call that triggering.
Yeah.
So it could be that maybe you remind her of her brother or her uncle or someone who abused her in the past, and those memories are flooding back, and she's not shutting down to you,
She's to the
she's
situation,
shutting down to that memory,
to the trigger. Yeah,
to the
yeah,
trigger.
yeah.
So you've triggered her.
I see. So
And
does that? Yeah.
go ahead.
No, because when I met, they would know the capacity where we meet, so they would share the things. They know what I do. So it's
Mhm.
knowing where you're going, knowing that you're going to get burned, and then when you
Yeah,
get burned, you said, I get burned. I don't want to."
right.
It-
Now, the second part of your question, you were asking about aggression. Why
yeah.
is, the second date or whatever, why is she doing the aggression? Um, I think the aggression, it's a power play move.
Hmm.
With regard to you, she sees herself as the one that's holding the cards. She
Hmm.
has the power. So, in a situation where she doesn't hold the power, maybe she's got a jackass boss who is mean to her and didn't give her a raise and gets on her case about you didn't finish this project on time or that, whatever it is, she feels powerless in some other situation. So in this situation, she knows she has the power. So, hey, tag, you're it. She's going to take the aggression out on you. May not have anything to do with you, but that's the way in her mind she's
Yeah.
balancing the power.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 She's as if she's trying to resolve her own trauma through the experience with me.
Right,
Yes, I get that.
right.
You want to say something?
No,
No,
no, I'm
no,
just
no.
listening.
She's listening. Okay, she's listening. So is this one of the reasons why like in your book, by the way, your book, it's not by the way, your book is Hitched in 90 Days. I love the title. Title
Thank
is
you.
great.
Right. Well, in
Thank
90
you.
days, you kind of know if
It kind of,
they're the one because
well, yeah.
the true personalities.
Yeah.
If I want to backtrack when you started
Do you
speaking of
want to
them,
backtrack?
I am
Okay,
backtracking
backtrack.
on the Me Too.
Yeah.
So I think the intention of it was really
Was yeah,
honorable and
yeah.
for
Yeah.
women. However, I feel in any kind of movement, sometimes it's taken too far. Somebody or somebody's abuse it, the abuse of power. I think as women, what we've done as a whole, not individually, is yes, we want to assert. I think equal rights is great. Like when you're
Yeah.
in a work situation, I think a woman can shoot as a police officer just as good as a man.
Even
However,
better.
They
Even
say
better.
even
physicality.
better. Right.
However, yes, they can because they have to make up because they don't have the physicality sometimes. However, I also believe like, I said I like to be courted. It's very nice when a man I was taught my dad to a man opens a door, but I also, my role as a woman too is the giving nature as well. As long as
Right.
no one is using one another. As far as paying for a date, I think whoever invites. If a man is inviting a female out, if I were to invite a male out, I would assume the bill.
Right.
If
That's
that's
one.
my philosophy on it, I feel that's very honest and on point. Um, I think the new, I think I like the meet and greet. I'm not one for a coffee date. Yes, I think we can establish a little meeting and greet. I think once you put the energies together in person, yes, that really symbolizes and you kind of know where you wanted to go on the first meeting. And it depends what place they're in.
It's
Go
it's
ahead.
it's
I
really
I
yeah. Go
don't
ahead.
approve of coffee dates.
I
I don't
don't
know.
either. I
I
don't
don't
Why
know
like
what
not?
it.
Why not?
I
Is it
agree.
because it's
when
Starbucks or what?
when
I don't like
I
coffee
don't
dates
wanna make
either.
Starbucks money either, but,
No, it's Kaka
no, when
coffee.
when
Starbucks.
when I was single, I would go on a few coffee dates, and
I
they
didn't
never
like it.
led anywhere, and I think
Exactly.
it's because usually coffee dates are in the morning, and usually as a busy person you've got stuff to do. you
I
it's
agree
like
with
you're
you.
looking at your clock. I have a 9 a.m., we met at 8 a.m. and I have a 9 o'clock meeting. I gotta go. I gotta run. I feel rushed. I feel pressured. It's just not a good
I
look.
agree.
But
I
So
don't
here's the
like the
thing.
coffee
my
dates.
best meet and
Yeah.
greet tip is to go for drinks. And if you're not, you don't have to be a drinker. You can drink, 7 Up or soda water or whatever you want. But that's the best because it's after hours. Your work is done. Typically, you don't have to be anywhere. And
But
you're just more relaxed. Alcohol sometimes softens the
I like
mood.
ice cream dates.
Yeah, ice cream dates are good.
I love
but
Or
ice
here's
cream
here's the
dates. I
or
thing.
think
I
it's
say
fun.
farmer's market,
Yeah,
find
here.
something in common and walk the farmer's market or go to your local lake and walk around the lake. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do.
One of the things that I've learned in the past is that if you want to be serious with somebody, for men, if you want to be serious with a woman, take her on a lunch date. Also, if you understand, because many times if you are inviting her to drinks or dinner or drinks, you know, I all the time wanted to eliminate the possibility that she thinks I only want to go with her to bed,
Okay.
right? Although I
Yeah.
wanted,
Okay.
although I wanted. So so I would go to
Right.
lunch because lunch is unassuming. Lunch is meaning saying I want to know you,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have drinks. And then it's lunch work, so she goes back to lunch. Or if she doesn't work, doesn't matter. It's during the day. Many times we have lunch meeting. Usually it doesn't. Usually there is the perception that it won't lead anywhere. Of course, that if there is a click, it doesn't matter if it's lunch, morning,
Right.
night, it doesn't matter. But in the beginning, I found that if you invite to a lunch, you're more susceptible, you have more chances of receiving a yes to come with you on a lunch meeting than dates or drinks,
If
because the dates and drinks automatically will assume that, oh, maybe later he wants to come and play his
I mean, it may
vinyl
be
record.
a safer bet that you're taking sex off the table, but again, I put it in the same category as a coffee date. So I would say if she does not have a weekend job, then invite her to lunch on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, I think sex
Because
is a
during
really
during the
important.
week during the week, if you were to invite me to lunch, like on a Thursday, again, I'd be like, looking at my phone. I got to be somewhere. Like, yeah, I'd be thinking of the next thing that's coming up in the next hour or two. So
Another power,
I'm not
another power,
relaxed.
another power trip that I've experienced. Oh, so I would ask her. It was in the past. So let's go for I don't remember what it was, a drink or something. Well, let me look at my calendar because I'm very busy. Right, a power trip. I was like, no, 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 no. If you need to pencil me in the calendar, then I don't want to see you.
Oh,
That kind of thing. And it
yeah.
worked fine. And then she said, okay, let's do it Wednesday.
Okay.
Very simple, because it is again. There's a let me pencil you in. Let me look through my busy schedule
Yeah.
and put you in. I said, look, if you're too busy, then stay busy. It's okay. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, but Wednesday for lunch, she might be busy
No, no,
work-wise.
no, she wasn't. But the thing is that I called her bluff, because I right away told her, listen, if you need to pencil me in, I don't want any.
Got it.
You have to come. Tell me in your head. You know when you're going to see your girlfriend. You're not penciling her in. All right. So don't play these games with me. So tell me when do you want to see, and we'll see. And that's it.
Right. Got it.
So I think that is now let's talk. You want
I
something
want
else
to bring
about?
sex up.
Yeah, sex
Yeah.
is.
So I have a lot of clients and a lot of females and males, but mostly females. Their number one question to me is, does it matter if I sleep with them on the first date? So I know my ideals and my philosophies. I mean, I think two is consenting adults, and I really don't. I think it depends on the situation. But what are your thoughts on that? Because that's a question I get over and over and over again. What are your thoughts on it?
If the girl is just down for sex as well, why not?
No, they
Right?
want a relationship. I
Oh,
agree. Let's say a woman looking for a relationship. Let me fine tune it. They
Fine,
really
fine.
right.
want a
You
relationship,
know,
and they're hesitant on sleeping on the first date or second. Let's just say that.
they say it doesn't matter, but I'm kind of old
No, I'm
school.
asking your thoughts.
I say it does matter.
And what
It
would you
does.
recommend? What would you advise?
Get to know them a little bit. I mean, a month or so, a little bit,
Mhm.
and then make him chase you, make him want you. That feels so good to be chased and pursued as a woman,
Courted, right?
courted, because if he's gone after
Mhm.
the first date, then where his head's
But
at,
what?
that that's all
But
he
what's
wanted.
wrong? But what is wrong with a woman expressing interest in a man? I find it very,
Oh,
very
oh,
mind-boggling that a
I
woman
can
doesn't do that. I mean,
I can
you know,
express, I can allude to the fact that I want sex without having sex. Because here's what goes through a man's mind, Elon, correct me if I'm wrong, is if she had sex with me on the first date, and this does become a relationship, and now we're 3 months into it, his worry is, oh, she did it so easy with me, she's going to do it so easy with the next guy.
I never.
And
I personally never thought that. I
that
personally
that
never thought that.
makes that makes a lot of men very insecure. They
I'm
don't like
pers- I
that.
personally I never thought that, because at times I would be more promiscuous than a woman, but I never thought that. So I never thought about the, oh, she probably will do it with somebody else. No, there is a click. Personally I don't hang on to this too much, because it's like we have a click. There is a click. It's
Yeah.
happening. Whether it works or doesn't work, that's already a derivative of something else that didn't work.
Mhm.
I just think that it is very important for men and women when walking into a connection, to be very clear about what it is that you want from that connection, and it's very important to communicate this. For example, I read in your book where the man would say, "Listen, I don't want a relationship," and I had in the past a situation like that where there was. I will write it clear in the beginning. So I do not want a relationship. I do not want and it worked fine until it didn't work. Uh, but to be communicative about that, and the difference I see it between men and women is that men can be very direct. Depends which men again. The
Mhm.
men can be very direct, and a woman can be alluding to something. Like there is a song in Hebrew, an old 70s songs, not sexist, right? But it says, when you say no, what do you mean? Is the no a yes, or the no is maybe? Or the no is no, or the no is let's see you later? What do you mean when you say no? That kind of thing. So many times a woman, when she says something, it's not what she says, but it's what's hiding behind what she says.
Yes.
So men need to understand that way of thinking, instead of just, oh, I'm operating like this, I'm operating like this, I'm operating like that.
Well, yeah, what I encourage women to do is really state your intention of what you want. Do you want just sex? Fine, good, go.
Say it, what's
If you
wrong?
if you
Yeah.
want a relationship, absolutely. What
Yeah.
I encourage them to do is say, "Hey, it's really nice to meet you. I think we have because I think there's a difference between connection and chemistry. I really do."
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And so I encourage them to tell the one they're meeting. And if there is this little spark and click and, something there saying, my desired goal is to have a monogamous relationship, deep, meaningful relationship. However, I don't want to put pressure on you, but this is what my goal is. I think saying that I'm not putting pressure on you, but this is my desired goal.
Right.
And that lays it out flat.
Got it.
But that has to have
I
two
think
people.
I think for me, Gina, if I were
Yeah.
in that situation, sex right away on the first date, the yardstick that I would use is to do it not because the situation calls for it.
Yeah.
I
There
would
we go.
really listen to my gut.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen too often, but you meet that person and oh my God, it's butterflies. Your palms are
So that
sweating.
yardstick goes
You
8
you
inches or
you
more.
you you get the phone. You get the phone, and before you even open the text, your heart is pounding.
Yeah.
If you've got that sort of situation, I would say make the exception and go for it. But if you
Yeah.
are not in that category, then you're letting the situation dictate what your body and what your emotions want to do.
Yes,
And your
thank
emotions
you.
haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
So it
And
Very
then,
might
well.
take
Yeah.
it might take another date or two for your emotions to catch up. But if you
yeah.
feel that right at the get-go, why not?
The yardstick becomes a good measurement.
And it's not a yard anymore. It's not a yard. It's not a stick anymore. It's a log.
Well,
Oh boy.
Yard log.
unless we're talking inches.
Yeah.
I was talking miles.
I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No pun intended.
That's right. I like that.
What it was? I don't know. I forgot. You ladies confused me. Let me go check a lucky.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's really important for our listeners right now. And if anybody has any questions, of course, because it's not about right or wrong. It's really what you want in your life. It's not what they want. A lot of women are like, because we are people pleaser by our nature. It's like, what would he want? What should I say to him? Like, no, let's eliminate him. What do you want? What do you want? And for men, I say, what do you want? I know women like this. No, what do you want? Yeah. Because if you're starting off on false pretenses, it's like the catfish pictures. It looks like a headshot in the dating site, and then when you meet each other, it's like, wait, what? You want to set off in a raw and natural, organic way. And I love your no. Why talk about past relationships when you're getting to know each other?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So thank you for that. I want to know your thoughts on it.
Yeah, which means that you're discounting the person that's in front of you. If you're going to talk about the ex-boyfriend and how he treated you wrong, what do you chop liver? You don't rate that. I don't need to find out about you. That's not a good look.
No, exactly. No,
I'm not saying don't talk about the old boyfriend never, but just not on the first couple of dates.
Yeah, no, not on the first date. No, this is really fascinating.
Yeah. Well, sex is an important topic, and you know what? We all want it.
Number one, when couples go to therapy, and the number one question that therapists will ask is, "How's your sex life?" Because sex is very high spiritually. Some people consider sex to be a very low. You don't talk about this, like the older generation, shame. Oh no.
Yeah.
But sex is a very high. Is near is close to the Shekhinah, to the highest of the highest. Sex is.
It can be a spiritual.
It's amazing
encounter.
And it's expansive. Yeah,
it's an embodiment of all the senses.
Unbelievable. So when you are in that space, but if you are coming only from that space, if you're coming only in the first date, only from that space of sex and what can I get for the sex and let's do it, and you want to build a relationship on that, that can be a problem. This is what I was saying to clients, and I had many talks about this, about dating during the Corona era. I call it the Coronic era dating. Many would say, "Oh, it's Zoom time." When we were all locked down and everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Zoom. How can I meet somebody? I said, actually, this is the best time to meet somebody if you really want a relationship, because what is happening? There is in Judaism a concept of before getting married that there is shmirat negia, no touching. You meet the person, but there is no touching. Why? Because the touching is a bribe. Touching the person, smelling the person is a bribe. It turns your senses all upside down, like the French cars. All the engine is upside down. It's the same thing. It's like turns you everything upside down, and you lose the way of mind over what is good for me. And so I would say this is the best time to meet somebody because you're zooming, you're getting to talk, you get to know one another, you see if you can talk with one another, you can, if you have a connection, if you have chemistry, even by talking Zoom like this, like what we're doing now. And then when you meet, it's a cherry on the cake, or not.
I disagree.
You disagree with that? Interesting.
Yeah.
It worked well for a few people, but why do you disagree?
Because then the man wants to have, phone sex with you. Or in this case, they want to have Zoom sex with you. So what's the
No,
difference?
no, no, not
Well, I'm from
necessarily.
Texas, so a dick pic, I always say, I'm from Texas. We like things big.
Yeah. Right. I
You
mean,
women.
I don't want to get a dick pic unless I ask for one.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
but it's not the case. No, I'm not talking about that. Really, I'm totally sincere about this. It's
I
not.
mean,
I
if
wasn't.
both of you can behave, okay, that's one thing. But so much
No.
of the time, it evolves into, let's have virtual sex.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
And so
Yeah.
who
You
is
have to
that
have a good camera
benefiting?
for that.
Well, I'm going to switch gears just because I'm excited. I know a lot of women really want to hear this.
Yeah.
Hitched in 90 days. How?
I'm
Give
gonna
me your
make you
key
I'm
points.
gonna make you irresistible. I'm gonna make you
How do you make me
irresistible.
irresistible?
And by the word, people get on my case for the word hitched. I don't mean
I
get
love it.
married.
No, it's great. It's great.
I mean that you are so irresistible that he has to propose to you. I advocate that you get married a year from now or whenever the date on the calendar is, not today. But anyway, that he has to propose to you within 90 days. And a lot of women come from the place, the very first date, they're like overloading the guy with, I want, love and
Yeah,
marriage and
exactly.
children and thing. We don't even know if we like you, girl. It's
Exactly.
like, stop with all that heavy talk
Bye
Right.
bye.
because I don't even know if we click. So you're
Yeah.
talking about stuff that's in the future. Am I open to it? Yes, I'm open to it, but I don't want to talk about this right now.
Yeah, or
So
like,
they
do you
spend
want
the whole
children?
hour, right? They spend the whole hour. I want 2.2 kids, the dog and the white
Well,
picket
I think you
fence,
have
and
to
I
be on
want
the
to be
same
married
page.
by,
Yeah.
next year or whatever. And it's just the poor guy goes into overwhelm. So instead, what do men want? They just want you to be fun. They just want you to be chill. Shut the F up. Don't be self aggrandizing with what kind of degree you have or what kind of important
Exactly.
That's what I'm
job
going to
you
take away. Just
have
shut the
or
F
who
up.
you know or you're wearing Manalo Blahniks today. No one cares about that stuff.
I'm going to quote
No
you,
one.
Linda. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Just, you have to, as a girl, as a single girl, you just got to ask yourself, am I coming across as having fun? Am I coming across as chill? By the word chill, I mean, would the guy feel comfortable on the next date in bringing you along to invite you with work friends or friends from college or his family? Not for a long time. Like I need to go to my mom's house for 5 minutes to pick up the screwdriver tool or something like that. Not like a Thanksgiving dinner where you're spending a substantial time. But if the guy sees you that he can take you to these other places and meet these other people, you've passed the I am chill test. And that's the number one thing that men are looking for.
Well, you're
Women
speaking
don't
my
know
language
that
about play and
because they
fun.
think that, ooh, if I don't get that love and marriage thing out there, then, I've lost my opportunity. And
Well, that's
no.
one of the things that very important thing that I work with people is when you come from a place of a need, and that goes to the women that's right on the first meeting. And I've been to that movie before. The actor dies at the end. She asks you, "Do you want to have kids? Oh, are you kids? Do you want to have kids? Oh, how many kids do you have? Do you want to have kids? Are you looking to get married? Do you want to have kids?" So, what?
I like that you're speaking my language. I love fun and play. I'm all about fun and play. So I like that. I
Yeah.
like that lightness and
T-
easiness. But I
Turn
also
that dial
feel
up.
you have to be on the
S-
same page as something like I'm not, if I went out with a 34-year-old, well, I have two grown children that we're going to be on different
on different
Pages.
trajectory,
pages.
yeah, different
Yeah.
Yeah,
pages.
different shifts, but I mean, you can go have fun. So I think it's an important topic, but not on the first date. I agree with you. Go have fun. Go enjoy each other. Play like kids. Go jump in the puddle and not worry that your shoes are getting dirty. Enjoy each other. Then see how it meshes. So I
Yeah.
love
I
the Hitch to 90 Days. I think it's a great title.
A great title. Great title.
I think every woman and male. I mean, I think males legitimately want that closeness as well. They get pushed aside and they have the same emotions and same sentiments. It's just they're raised differently.
right.
It's compiled differently.
Yeah.
It's
So
compiled differently. I wanted to ask you something, and it just flipped my mind.
Oh,
But anybody who is listening, wow, we are already at the top of the time of the
mhm.
hour, and
We have
can
to
I
do
ask for
this.
one
We have
yeah,
to
thing?
do
go
this
ahead.
Can
again.
you, Linda, lovely meeting you. I loved it. Can you give all of us one takeaway that we can take away today to facilitate and put an action step into in the, you know, give us one takeaway that could help us.
Just, come to the table with value. I mean, just, try to, as I say in my men's book, one of the 4 tenets is character. Just talk the talk, walk the walk, just be an honest person. I mean, if that picture doesn't match what you really look like, either change the real picture or just be honest with it. And same thing
Shut the
with
fuck up.
shut the
Just shut
fuck
the
up,
fuck
right?
up.
So, or, if you just want sex as a guy, then just, when I was single, I
Shut the
had a lot of,
fuck up.
I was so impressed with a lot of guys who actually just said, I just want to have sex.
Me too.
And they did it with so much confidence. There was no bullshit. There was no lying.
It
And
was
you know what?
attractive.
It was attractive because it was just so fresh. It was kind of like the male equivalent of show me the real picture,
Well, it's like Italian foreplay.
All right.
So, by the way, if your viewers want to find out more, you can catch
So
both of my books on Amazon, Linda Gross, Amazon, and Hitched in 90 Days for the women, and The Science of Mastering Women for the guys.
yes,
So,
this is wonderful, and the website is down here, the Men's Advocate, and on Facebook also, it's a Facebook page, the Men's Advocate.
mhm.
And this has been really informative and really fun.
Fun.
Fun. It was fun. It was
We
fun.
could go on for hours. We got to do this again.
I know. We can talk. We can talk
I had
forever.
fun. I hope you guys did too.
Oh,
I
I
did.
had
Thank
fun. I had a
you.
blast. Thank you very much. We have Linda Gross was our guest today. Best-selling author. She has several books. She's an advocate for men, and you need to check her out, especially if you are now in the market.
In the market.
The market.
Shut
Yeah,
the fuck up.
In the market, but this is a market,
Yeah.
but
it is
it's
a
true.
market. It is a
It
market.
is.
This is a market,
Yeah.
But you're in the you are
Market
in a
of love.
market of
Love.
looking for connections. Looking for connections could be sexual or non-sexual, whatever that is.
Absolutely.
So reach out to Linda Gross if you have any questions. You can send us. You can post. Put a note, and we'll respond. And yeah,
Women can benefit from your podcast because we
absolutely.
need to learn about men and men need to learn about women.
I do have a
So thank you
lot of
for that.
female readers, and I do have a lot of female, listeners on the podcast because, like they say, it's the Cosmo effect that sometimes guys read Cosmo to see what the women are up to. So I have
Exactly.
a lot of women that are
Oh,
peering in
Well,
on what are the
well,
men
that's why
up
they read
to.
Victoria's Secret.
yeah, for the article.
Well, and
Are there
everyone is
articles in
what
Victoria's
my
Secret?
special with there are
There are? Oh,
in
I don't know.
between the lines.
Hmm.
But
Of the
and we all
Putin.
have the inner child, men and women. And
Yeah.
we're all trying to go back to that inner child and heal it. And again, it goes back to I love that the last part of it was you said have fun
Have
and
fun.
be chill.
It's all
So
fun.
thank you so much. It was a
Thank you
pleasure
very
meeting you.
much. Thank you, Linda, for being here.
Life brings us so much bad rain. It's our job to clear the clouds and just shine.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Linda, for being here, Linda Gross.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
lovely Gina.
Thank you, iLan.
Thank you for being here, Abracadabra. Create what you speak, make magic. I'm iLan Azoulai, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye, Linda.
Bye.
Bye.